Am I the asshole? For laughing at my brother when he got rejected from every college? This happened a couple months ago, but I discovered this sub now, I'm wondering. My younger brother was applying to colleges this past admission cycle. He applied exclusively to top schools: Ivies, Stanford, MIT, CMU, etc. His safety was Berkeley because he felt confident he'd get into a top school due to being valedictorian and winning a few debate competitions. My parents asked me to help his application because I got into a few of those schools last year. I don't think that makes me an expert, but from getting in and meeting lots of others that did too, all I can say is, it's completely fucking random. I've met Olympians, kids who've published full-length novels, kids who run successful companies. I've also met kids who have essentially good grades and normal extracurricular activities. So essentially there's no formula to guarantee that you'll get in, and it's always common sense to apply to actual safeties. I told him this, but he laughed this off and said unlike me his application's good enough not to need to apply to safeties. I said fine, his funeral. He ended up getting rejected by every college he applied to, had to scramble to apply to colleges with rolling admissions dates, and ended up having to go to community college for 2 years. I heard this when I came home to visit during summer break. Given the context of him being so arrogant about his application and denigrating mine, I found it incredibly funny. So I started laughing about it. He got angry and called me an AH for laughing at him instead of being supportive. I honestly think he had it coming. Am I the asshole? For the record, there's nothing wrong with community college, but my thing is he was perfectly fine insulting you when you were trying to help and gave sound advice. Not the asshole. You had every right to say I told you so. Dude needed an ego check XD. Not the asshole. Your brother sounds very arrogant and cocky. I feel like this might have been his wake-up call. LOL. Community college is still great too though. I mean, it's not great. Esh. He was arrogant, but I don't think it rose to the level of having you be happy over his misfortune. Esh. Your brother for his cockiness and you for not sticking to a simple I told you so. Info: why does he have to go to community college for 2 years? Can't he transfer after a semester or 2? Nah. He was expecting to go to Harvard and he's going to Podunk Community College. He shouldn't have been arrogant about it and you shouldn't be laughing at his misery. Edit: I retract my ESH comment and it should be an AH. Neither one of them is mature enough to be the AH. And I hope this doesn't screw up their relationship. You're the asshole. You don't kick someone when they're down. Was he arrogant? Absolutely. Has life provided him with swift and painful consequences for his arrogance? Also, yes. You're right, but you're still TA. ESH, you are both jerks to each other. Esh. You guys are both arrogant pricks. And you should feel bad. I have advice for you, brother, about going to community college with the intent to transfer. Speak to the college's transfer counselor about his plans so he can ensure that the classes he takes will transfer. There are advisors that help people put together schedules, but the transfer counselor is the one who knows the ins and outs of transferring credits to different universities. Don't waste time and money on classes that you don't need. He'll probably ignore you again, but it's worth mentioning. Any good college counselor would have told him about reach, match and safety. He should have chosen some less prestigious backups. Regardless of whether or not he was arrogant, you're definitely the asshole. What a mean thing to do to someone you love when they're hurting. Esh. I agree, he may have been arrogant, but you didn't have to be mean. Not the asshole sounds like he has to eat some humble pie and doesn't like the taste. You're the asshole. Grow up. Not the asshole because you went out of your way to help him with his app and he took the opportunity to not listen to you and make a dig at you. Although I'd still probably comfort him, since he's your brother, after all. Pray that those 2 years in community college will humble him a bit. You're the asshole who's already learnt his lesson the hard way. You don't have to rub it in. You're horrible. You're the asshole doesn't matter what he did months ago. When someone is obviously upset about something, laughing at them is a dick move. Always. And then everyone clapped. That little brother. That was Barack Obama. Esh. He blew you off and was a bit arrogant, but being valedictorian and yet getting rejected by all the schools to which he applied is pretty crushing. Have you never been confident that things would work out? Have you never failed spectacularly? If not, you will. Everyone does. And when that moment comes, it's so much better if the people around you are kind. You're the asshole. You're taking way too much pleasure in his misery. Unless you don't care to have a good relationship, your brother. Not the asshole. He put you down in an arrogant way and your comeback wasn't out of line given the circumstances. You're the asshole. There is only one valedictorian and it's always a kid that worked very hard. Your brother was naive and thought hard work would ensure he was admitted at top schools. He learned that no, he is at the mercy of admissions officers that can exclude him in favor of a less meritorious candidate. That he was not picked reflect on the schools, not your brother. It's a tough lesson to learn and you could have been supportive instead of laughing at him. You're the asshole. Yes, he was arrogant, but this is your brother, show some compassion. You're the asshole. ESH, you both sound completely insufferable. Not the asshole. For the arrogant, ridicule is a byproduct failure. He should have taken the helpful hand and advice when it was offered instead of throwing shade. And ended up having you go to community college for 2 years. Financially that is a good move actually. But also not the asshole he fucked around and found out. You warned him, he didn't listen. You were supportive by warning him. Humbleness is everything. You might think the world of yourself. Until it comes time to put your money where your mouth is, so to speak. Reality check can hit you hard if you're not humble. Improve your relationship with your brother. Just trust a slightly older guy here when I say it's not a thing you want to take for granted. Esh. Your brother's comment was below the belt, but you holding a grudge for 2 years over one dumb comment is equally pathetic. Info is taking a year out, working and reapplying not a thing in the US. I went to a very good university in the UK, but if that and my other non-safeties had rejected me, I'd have probably just spent a year reapplying, working on my application and getting some life experience. I don't get why he has to go to community college. Doesn't sound like you were the asshole to me, but if he has completely messed this up forever, it could be a little cruel. Why does he have to go to a community college for 2 years now though? He can apply again for next fall. And you did warn him, did you not? LOL. Esh. You said it yourself, it is random. So laughing at him makes you a bit of an cause it was random that you got in and basically could have swung either way for him. He also was a bit of an to you by being an arrogant kid who thought he had it going on. More than anything, he's your brother, man, you should have felt empathy for his situation. He clearly wanted this bad, and instead of any shred of empathy you laughed in his face, making you closer to being the than him. Not the asshole. There are few things as satisfying as arrogant asses being given a nice slice of humble pie with a scoop of nice crisp reality on top. He laughed at you first, but he then was punished by life, and you salted his wound. You're the